Hi. Last day in class we discussed how we use numbers for things like counting people or for measuring things like the length of the room. We also discussed how numbers can be used in different ways, such as on the back of football players or for putting a collection of photographs in order. Mathematicians have different names for each of these uses of numbers. Counting is done using cardinal numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. There's some discussion as to whether or not 0 should be in there. Little kids sometimes start counting at 0, 1, 2, 3, and mathematicians haven't actually decided yet. These numbers are also called the natural numbers, and this comes from some notion that these are the numbers we set out with, and hence the name natural numbers. When we measure things, we can often end up with numbers which are not exactly 1, 2, 3, but fall into the spaces between the counting numbers. That's the way things are in the real world, and so we call these real numbers. These are numbers like 2.5, 3.25, 4 and a bit. Okay. After this, in class, we discussed how once we turn numbers into symbols, we can do things with them which don't seem to make a vast amount of sense in the real world. And we looked at the example of taking 8 away from 5. There are 5 people in the class. If we want to take away 8, we kick everybody out the door, and we're still left with 3 people to take away, minus 3. In symbols, it's easy enough, but in real life, it doesn't seem to make an awful lot of sense. These numbers, that is, ones that come out of this with a minus sign on them, are called negative numbers. If we take all the natural numbers, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, add 0 in there, we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and add the negative numbers, i.e. minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, we've got the last set of numbers that we need to know about, which are the integers. These are all the numbers like minus 10, minus 9, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Those are all the numbers we need to know about in FETAC level 3, i.e. the natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The real numbers, 2 and a bit, 3.7, all that. And the integers, which are the negative numbers, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 0, and 1, 2, 3, on up. However, just in case you're curious, I'll tell you the names mathematicians use for numbers when we use them in the other ways that we discussed in class. Ordinal numbers is what mathematicians call numbers when we use them to describe how we've put things in order, like our favourite photographs or the places that people came, like first, second, third, fourth, etc. And then the other use for numbers that we discussed, i.e. where we're using numbers as labels, like on football players, mathematicians call these nominal numbers. When we're using numbers in this way, i.e. numbers on football player shirts, we can't really do much with them mathematically. So we're not going to talk about those further. Okay, thanks for your patience. See you again.